What makes literature worth studying? To what degree should literary studies be concerned with things like activism and political debates? And to what degree should it be separate from those concerns? My name is Bryan Yazell, and I'm a literary scholar here at SDU, and my research is concerned with bringing literary studies to the foreground of debates about issues like welfare and migration. And recently, my research has been concerned with a new type of literature called climate fiction, which generally defined is a type of science fiction set in the near future that's dealing with the consequences of anthropogenic climate change. And I'm interested in this literature because it's very clear that it has a concern, it has an agenda. It wants people to care about not only climate change, but its effects on the population. And that's a topic that I think literary scholars in general are reluctant to talk about, right? Intention, how literature might motivate someone to do something or feel a certain way. But because we can take this for granted that we should care about climate change and that this literature wants us to care, I think it's really fascinating to think about what type of strategies these novels employ to make people, or to encourage people to be concerned about not only the world around them, but other groups of people, the most vulnerable people, climate refugees, for example. And I approach this topic from a background that deals with texts like John Steinbeck, or authors I should say, like John Steinbeck, in the US, who have developed stories that want people to think about the disadvantaged, people on the road, the homeless, the displaced. And I think when you have this historical perspective in terms of this literature, you can see how science fiction authors and climate fiction authors today are drawing from this tradition of generating sympathy or concern for unemployed people to encourage us today to think about people we might have a hard time otherwise imagining. Again, the climate refugee, the people in Southeast Asia, for example, who are already being displaced by rising tides and increasing temperatures. So I hope to contribute to programs that facilitate movement across borders, and in doing so, help to establish and reiterate literature's role in not only research and teaching, but also in public debates and welfare more generally.